Hey everyone, it's Justine Browning for The Nocturnal here at Stonestreet Studios in New York City to talk to Miles Teller about his incredible career thus far. Here, of course, there's a retrospective so early into your career, which I think is incredible. When you look back at the Miles that stepped onto set for Rabbit Hole to your last project, Bleed for This, what would you say is the biggest difference?
I think it's really just, I'm a lot more comfortable now. I mean, that is a huge understatement. When I was on the set of Rabbit Hole, I literally went from taking classes at NYU, doing scenes with people my own age, to boom, you're on set and you're about to do a scene with Nicole Kidman, and there's no rehearsal or anything. I was very nervous, and I felt like that worked for the character. But now, I don't know, I'm not as like gracious. I think you kind of feel like, yeah, you're here for a reason, especially like if you're the lead of a movie. I mean, it's really on your shoulders to be a leader on set and to you're the kind of decided narrative. You're a very focused narrative of that story. So I don't know. I take it with a lot of commitment. I'm very serious about it.
Well, you've played so many fascinating characters in just such a short time, and a lot of these characters are based on real people. So I'd love if you could talk a bit about what you learned from some of these key roles that you've played.
Well, I think with Bleed for This was, it's based on a real guy, and he still is the only guy I've played that really has kind of a public figure and a public persona. And it's important, man. You're taking these people's lives and you're putting it on screen. With Bleed for This, we're putting his parents on screen who have passed away. And it's just really important. I think when you play a real character, there's a lot more resources there in terms of the building blocks. You have a voice I knew that I needed to get close to. There were certain mannerisms that I could just kind of take on. Sometimes you don't have that, but I don't know. If somebody's making a movie about my life, I hope that they would take it very seriously. And you try and honor these guys that you're playing, really.
And for Stonestreet Studios, I understand that there's an aspect of the training that focuses on the business side of the entertainment industry and being an actor. Can you recall what you learned when you were training in that way?
It just felt very professional to me. I think especially, there's a guy here, Ted Slaburski, and he teaches an audition class. And I remember he actually told me, because he was in the casting community for a long time, and he actually told me after my Rabbit Hole audition, he goes, "You're going to get this," because he had just heard from somebody. And it just, I don't know, you walk into the rooms, or you walk into the studio, and there's like coffee machines, and there's cats, and it's just very laid back. And it couldn't have been more different from my theater training at NYU. And, they're both very important to me, but I just feel like Stonestreet very closely mimicked what I wanted to do, and that was these film auditions and to get those scripts. And it's a very versatile program too. We're doing everything from like commercials to soap opera to sitcom acting to all these different formats. And the teachers are either working or have worked, but a lot of them are still auditioning, still making movies. I've had film directors watch my stuff that I did in Stonestreet, when they're figuring out if they're going to cast me or not. So it's a credit to the program.
And I would love to know, how do you see it carrying you through to what you'd like to accomplish in your career going forward?
What do you mean?
The training that you have, the backbone that you have in terms of Tish and Stonestreet as well, overall, the longevity of your career.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I learned in college that I'm still learning. NYU is a wonderful it's a wonderful program, and these kids are in acting class, 3 days a week for 8 hours a day. They're not going to get that outside of college. And so for me, it just felt like with anything you do, it's a reflection on hours practiced. And if you want to be really great at something, you got to put a ton of time into it. And at NYU encourages that and really facilitates that.